Alright, that should be enough. We'll need a bit more time to gather the necessary data. Of course, this is the sort of job he'd shove off on me. Having a bad day? I've guessed it seems. You're the direct lieutenant from before, aren't you? You've got that same golden sword. Been a while, you bastard. Agate Krosner, the heavy blade. With rank C. No, you were promoted to rank B after the coup. I'm surprised that a former member of the Talent division would already know that. You're always sneaking around in the shadows like a rat back then. Decided to get a bit more showy this time, huh? Well, whatever. I ain't interested in arrests or anything nice like that today. I'm just gonna slice that smug look right off your face. Confident, aren't we? I wouldn't call what happened showy, personally. It was certainly nothing compared to what you saw 10 years ago. I've had a look at the records of every place in this country. You and I are very similar in some ways, Agate Krosner. Similar, huh? You don't know shit, so don't say shit. Ja, aber recht, Agate, tatsächlich. Ich weiß schon, wie ich mehr halt über ihn durch Cold Steel, von daher. You know from our last encounter the difference in our ability. On top of that, I have a dragon at my disposal, so what could possibly drive you to engage me alone? You think I give a damn about my chances of winning? I can't stand you. I'll take any chance I get to kick your ass. Unbelievable. This is the extent of your power? I won't even need the dragon. What? Gah. We may be similar in some ways, but there's one crucial difference between us. That being the reason we take up our swords. The hell are you? I wouldn't mind to discard my humanity and walk the path of ruin. You only wield yours in a desperate attempt to fill the emptiness within you. Throwing that lump of iron fills the void within you. For a brief moment, your rage lets you flee from your grief. But in the end, you're only deluding yourself. Shut up. Should you continue to hide behind your delusions, you will never move forward. As you are now, you are neither fit for enlightenment nor the path I follow. You'll always remain incomplete. Shut the hell up! What's with Agate's voice? Oh, the way it's echoing. I think he must be in the big, open mining pit. Come on, let's hurry. Oh god, die Karte. Huh? This bridge was broken the last time we came here. Must have been repaired in the interim. Perhaps by the Royal Army or local miners? Maybe. What the... Estelle, what's wrong? This way should lead right into the mining pit. Why is it blocked off by rocks? Perhaps the dragon did something that caused the passage to cave in? Okay then, I'll use my cannons then... No, don't, Tita. The explosion could just make it collapse further. But... Tita, I know how you feel, but stay calm, okay? Let's see if we can find another way around. Okay. Ich gebe doch erstmal hier lang, auch wenn ich eigentlich in Erinnerung hatte, dass hier der Weg war, durch den wir das letzte Mal in die Höhle gekommen sind, aber anscheinend nicht. So, die ist kaputt. Ist putt. Hier ist eine Kiste. An empty treasure chest, full of promise yet devoid of payoff. A perfect metaphor for me. I guess. Da war ja richtig viel. Nothing in here. Good. We don't want people refilling these while we're not looking. Alter. Gut, hier ist die Sache. Also perfekt. Must we go through this again? If you rest your head atop the empty chest, you rapidly withdraw as you hear what sounds like a heartbeat. Aww. A 100 victorious stakes? Wow. They all look the same to you now. Every one of them. So helpless, so vulnerable. A mere target for you and your insatiable hunger. Oh, okay, I guess. Ah. Damn you. Careless. That's the one mercy I can offer you. I'll end this quickly. Yeah. Now then, it's almost time. I should alter the gospel's control style while I still have a moment. Just a damn second. I'm not done yet. It's not over yet. That's Agate. Tita. Still clinging to that broken lump of iron. As you wish. You shall die as broken as your blade. No! Short stuff. The hell are you doing? I was worried about you, Agate, and so I came here with Estelle and Tita. You, stop them. This is bad. Please. Stay away, please! You idiot. You think please will work on him? Just run already. Granddaughter of Sciences Professor Russell, Tita Russell. I'd heard you were a child genius, but no genius would ever behave so recklessly. In truth, I'm not fond of harming women or children. Still, I'll do what I must. Now, be a good girl and move. You son of a bitch. I won't move. I won't. Agate's always saving me, so I have to have him back. I have to. No, that's not it. Not just it. He's blunt and he's always looked annoyed. He always treated me like a kid and called me things like short stuff, but he's really very nice and he's always watching out for me. He means so much to me. I love him. So I won't move, no matter what. Tita? You're a very brave little girl, though I can hardly believe you care that much for such a blockhead. It seems you aren't the only ones who wish to challenge me, so I'll take my leave for now. Huh? Ooh, main guns and portside guns aim for the dragon. All hands, prepare to take the field immediately upon landing. Yes, sir. Huh. They finally show their faces. Now we can begin the final experiment. Oh, wait, you... Don't forget, Agate Krosner. So long as you continue to delude yourself, you won't amount to anything. Nor can you protect anything you deem important. Wait! Now look, I stood here to listen to you run your mouth for what felt like forever. I am so not letting you get away after all that. Is that right? You too should take this to heart? Huh? Once this experiment ends, our plan will enter its next stage. If you fail to keep your wits about you, I guarantee you will come to regret it. Wait, what was supposed to... Curse you, dragon, you will not flee. All hands, fire! Fire! Bring it down! As if you can do anything against the legend. Let us go, Wagnard the Ancient. Wait, why are we chasing him? What are you doing? Does it have anything to do with your stupid bracer grudge? Not in the slightest. That monster wasn't even scratched by a round from a combat vessel. What do you intend to do that can and cannot? Well, General, even to you, Your Highness, I shall not yield this point. Courage and recklessness are different things. Your Highness, I'm sure you saw the damage to both and Wavenue. This has, in essence, become a war. A war? Yes, you're right. Leave the bread to the bakers, Miss Bright. If this is war, the professionals will handle it. And if you want my advice, you're better off searching for Ouroboros' the center of command. But you're kidding. Agate? Agate? Take it easy, okay? I just finished patching you up. You're the heavy blade Agate, yes? Cassius tells me you're quite an active young bracer. Don't care what the old man said. General, listen. Leave the bread to the bakers. War to the professionals. You're seriously saying that? Of course I'm serious. I like bracers, which this only protects private citizens. We must protect the country as a whole. We must protect the bird soil and those who live upon it. The army is the only instrument that can... protect the bird soil and those who live upon it, huh? Don't make me laugh. Ugh. What? Agate, calm down, please. You're always too late. Your idiot move like sloths. You just worry about keeping everyone in step. You can't do shit about orders. You can't even protect the things you say you will. You can't do it now, and you didn't do it 10 years ago. Are you? I wonder. Who the hell could leave it to you? This time, gotta protect Misha myself. Agate, is he okay? He doesn't seem to have reopened his wounds. He's simply exhausted, physically and mentally. Oh, Agate. He was making an even bigger fuss than usual. For now, he needs rest in his own bed. His home is in Wavenue. My ship can take him that far at least. Thank you. Wait a minute, how do you know Agate's house is in Wavenue? I remember that I met him once before. The little boy from that day has grown quite a bit. What day? It was immediately after the 100 Days War. The day the memorial to his sister and the other villagers was erected. Sorry. I see, what a mess. Miss Bright, General, sir, I'm sorry to have caused you so much trouble. No, in the end we couldn't stop the dragon's rampage. I'm sorry you weren't of much help, really. There's no reason to disparage yourself, Miss Bright. Even with the dragon still on the loose, you have proven indispensable in the aid you have given others. You successfully evacuated the market, and Mr. Krosner's firefighting efforts were marvelous. Only a bracelet could have responded so quickly. I have to admit, General, it feels a little strange to hear you say that, but about Agate. Is it true that during the war his little sister was, It is, yes. The bird forces and the Imperial Army were fighting on the village's outskirts. During the battle, some Erebonian incendiary rounds hit the village. Ultimately, some of the homes were burned and some of our villagers lost their lives. One of them was Misha Krosner. In a way, the Royal Army is culpable for that entire incident. The defensive line was re-established and protect the village ended up doing little more than drawing the fight into it. The end result was large portions of the village being laid waste. Oh. And the orders to establish the defensive line came from my desk. You can very easily say that the blood of those people is on my hands. General, sir, please, you don't need to blame yourself. The Royal Army was doing their duty, that's all. The whole thing was just a tragedy built on several coincidences colliding. No, Reisen, you needn't make excuses for me. Those sorts of justifications hold no meaning for those who lost family. Those like that red-haired young man? Well, After the battle, I attended the funeral for the villagers dead as a representative of the army. I still clearly remember the eyes of one particular red-haired young man in attendance. Bottomless sadness, twisted by rage, eyes such as I have never seen before or since. And I was the one responsible for giving him such eyes. No, that isn't true. Agate never blamed the Erebonians, nor all the Royal Army, or even you, General. The person he blamed was himself. What do you mean? All I know is what I observed, but Agate always seemed to blame himself in some way for Misha's death. Wasn't even remotely true, of course, but he convinced himself it was. And then, after practically torturing himself over what happened, he left the village. He wanted to search for an answer, to find a way to make it up to Misha. I always thought his time as a street thug in one was because of that, because he never found his answer. He did eventually get his head screwed back on and began walking the path of Bracer, but I don't think he ever truly found the answer he sought. He's really trapped by that same sadness, that same anger at himself. How terrible. Hey, General, are you sure you won't let us Bracer's help against the dragon? What? We definitely have some strong points the army doesn't. We're smaller, so we can respond faster. We're closer to the civilian population. It's a bit easier for us to get to places where the army has trouble getting to, too. I know we could help if you'd let us, but now that I've heard all this, I think Agate became a Bracer because he thought there was potential in those abilities. The potential to find a way to make peace with his sister. Yeah, I think I can understand now why Agate became a Bracer when Dad invited him. Dad became a Bracer when he lost Mom, after all. So to prove the potential of Bracers, and more than anything, to help the people in need around me, I want to do everything I possibly can. So please, let us help you. Estelle. Well said. I wonder, had Bracers been in Bowser 10 years ago? Could it all have been, It's nothing. Cass is swamped with other duties, so I'll be taking command of army operations against the dragon. I need to head back to the Gate and hold council over our next move. I will take your suggestions under advisement. So then, do not be hasty. I merely said I would take it under advisement. I will contact the guild house tonight and with the results of our deliberations. That is all I can promise. Right, we understand. We'll be waiting to hear from you, sir. I must pardon myself here then. Reisen, my thanks for your hospitality. Oh no, please come by any time. Okay, we'd better get back to Bowser. Oh, was ist da? Warum müssen wir so gern? Bin müde. Agate should probably stay here, huh? He's going to need at least a few days to recover from his wounds. We should let him sleep for now. Yeah, good idea. Let's check in on him before we go and fill in Tita with what's going on. Oh, Elder Reisen? I know now's not the best time to ask, but please take care of Agate for us. Haha, you don't need to worry. He's part of our family here. Besides, compared to 10 years ago, a dragon is nothing. We should be thanking God that no one died yet. Das verschreiß nicht. Just saying. Estelle. Hi, Tita. How's Agate doing? He's still asleep, but his face looks a lot better, so I think he'll be okay so long as he gets a lot of rest. I see. So this is Agate's house, huh? It's small, but it feels so warm. That's where you live with his sister, then? Hey! This photograph. This looks like a picture of when Agate was a kid. That means this girl must be... Yes, I think it's Misha. She's such an adorable little girl. Looks like she and Agate were very close. I think so too. Agate and Misha look really happy after all. Yeah, they really do. Agate looks about 14 in this, so Misha would be, what, 12? Agate got the sort of face that just screamed, I'm the world's biggest prankster. I bet he was an interesting kid. Hey now, don't read too much into a man's old photographs. It's a little embarrassing. Haha, really. Still though, why did Agate keep quiet about his sister? He kept talking about her as if she was alive. Yeah, but if you think about it, Agate never said Misha was alive. He said he comes back to visit, and I bet he meant he visited her grave. Now that you mention it, yeah, he still should have known we had the wrong idea about it though. Why wouldn't he correct us? I don't know, but Agate said once work calmed down a bit, he'd introduce us all. I think he was going to tell us then. That's right, I bet that's it. Well, we can ask him later what he intended, but, Tita, we need to head back to the Bow of the Guild House soon, but, what is it? Estelle explained that the army would be contacting the guild that evening. Oh, I see. Estelle? You don't need to say anything, Tita. You're gonna say you want to stay behind to take care of Agate, right? Underestimate me at your own peril, my little Tita. I can read the inside of your mind like a picture book. It's a big sister thing. Aww. Tita, don't worry. We will hand you rest. You just put your efforts into nursing Agate back to health so he can get back on his feet. Estelle, everyone, thank you so much. Aww, you don't need to thank us. There's only one thing I'll ask you to do. When Agate wakes up, tell him what we just told you, okay? You mean the stuff about bracelets and army working together? Yeah. Also, I want you to stop Agate from trying anything reckless. Physically, if necessary. Not to let him out of his bed until he's fully healed. Got it? Yeah, I'll do my best. Estelle, everyone, be careful, okay? Dann I guess up zur Gilde. Oder auch nicht. So, das ist die Deutsch, Tita. Is there anything else we need to do? Warte mal. Wir können nochmal zum Grabstein gehen. Okay, schade. Ich dachte, da kommt vielleicht noch irgendwie eine Szene. Alright, let us return to the city before the sun sets. A good idea. We'll probably hear back from General tonight, so we'd better hurry back to the guild house. Teleport? Yay. Sounds like you kids have had a workout. Still, to think Agate's past was that terrible. Sadly, it makes sense in some ways. Hearing this finally assembled all of the pieces of a puzzle for me. No wonder Agate felt the way he did back then. Back, huh? It was 10 years ago. Practically the day after the war ended, Agate came to the mayor's house. Why? You mean to your house, Maybelle? Yes. He barged in with murder in his eyes, and came face to face with my father, the mayor at the time. He demanded to know why the mayor of Bose, the man responsible for the entire region, he demanded to know why he had abandoned Wavenue. Oh. I was just a child at the time, and it got to me when I saw him arguing with father for seemingly no reason. So I, leaped out and slapped him. Oh man. I can see why he doesn't like remembering that, at least. Yes. So, ultimately, father never answered Agate's question. He did say he was going to send financial aid to help repairs. Agate grew even more livid when he heard that. He even raised his fist to strike father. But then he just left without throwing a blow. So that's what happened. That's why the air between you two seemed kind of weird. Yes, it's always hovered over us like a cloud. Still, to think Agate's sister died in the war. I've been terribly unfair to him. He bears a bit of responsibility too for not saying anything. You don't need to worry about it, Maybelle. I suppose. How badly is Agate hurt? Don't worry, not too bad. He'll be up and surely again in 2, maybe 3 days. Let's be thankful for a small mercy at least. Yes, I'm glad to hear it not serious. Yes. But, reminds me, Mabel, how's Lila doing? Well, her injuries have been treated, but she hasn't come out of a coma yet. Oh, how despicable of our supposedly a lion-hearted fugitive. Lovely, refined ladies such as Lila are treasures that ennoble the world simply by existing. I'll tell Lila said that when she awakens. On the subject of good news, I'm glad to hear that General Morgan came to your aid. The Guild and the army were to truly work together and convinced no force in the world could stop you. Nothing's been decided yet, so we can't make any promises. But just between you, me, and the desk, we'll make it work. This is the Priester Guild, Bowser branch. Oh, General, sir, we've been waiting. And here we go. Now to see just how well Morgan can set aside his pride. Oh, so that's the plan then? I understand. Tomorrow at the landing port, 10 a.m. sharp. I'll be sure to tell them. Thank you, sir. So what's the word, Lucan? The Royal Army is going to execute a plan to capture the dragon tomorrow, using airships. They say they want you on one of the ships as observers. We're going to use airships? Whoa. Taking the battle to our foe in its element then? Would be a leader of the Liberian military? Well, if we're just observers, we won't be able to actually do anything. Even so, I'm still grateful for a chance to get a closer look at that dragon. And it might just be up to us if the army fails somehow. No rest for the weary then, huh? I'm up for it. At least some light at the end of the tunnel. Mabel. Mabel, are you alright? Yes, it was nothing. You look dizzy enough to be a toy top, Mayor. You must be exhausted. But I know what Estelle just said, Mayor, but don't strain yourself. Don't worry, really. I'm hardly straining myself. During the 100 Days War, Father did everything he could to protect Bowser. One time he even conducted extremely dangerous negotiations in order to deceive the Imperial Army. Compared to what he did, this is nothing. Mayor Mabel. Oh, Mabel. Estelle, everyone, please take care of things. Please, dispel the fear that haunts the people of Bowser. I ain't waving you. Yeah, leave it to us.